Deadlock, a game which opened up its doors for invite-only closed beta testing in late summer of 2024, is a hero-based multiplayer online battle arena set in 1940s New York that sees a cast of supernatural monsters, agents, and even gods team up to complete a ritual, summoning a deity known as patrons. Today, we look at Holliday, a small-town sheriff that sees her journey end up in New York after tracking a killer known as the Troubadour. She relies on her aim with her trusty heirloom revolver and a litany of abilities to take down her enemies. We'll break down her stats, strats, and abilities to give you all the information you need to bounce your way to victory. At 700 base HP, scaling plus 41 every boon, she is just above average in terms of HP. And with 2 stamina, she is part of the lower pool of heroes and mobility potential. Holliday's weapon of choice is called Doc's Orders, a medium-range, heavy-hitting revolver that does 47 damage per second and has a fall-off range of 48 meters. Powder Keg is Holliday's first ability, which sees her throw a barrel that explodes after a delay, dealing spirit damage and applying a knockup. The barrel can be detonated early by either being shot, meleeed, or detonated by another barrel. With the second upgrade seeing the base damage almost doubled, and the last seeing plus 2 charges, this becomes the main ability you'll use throughout the game to spam your enemy down. Bounce Pad is Holliday's second ability, which sees you drop a bounce pad in the world that launches any hero. When Holliday uses her bounce pad, on landing she will explode, dealing damage to any nearby enemies. The second upgrade seeing a plus 4 movement speed bonus for 4 seconds on landing, and the last seeing the damage and spirit scaling pretty much double. This becomes a great skill you can use to get around the map, and also is the perfect tool you'll use to initiate on your enemies. Crackshot is Holliday's third ability, which sees her headshots deal bonus gun damage and applies a fading move speed penalty. Think of this as essentially a free crit on your weapon, and with the second upgrade giving you double the headshot damage, this gives Holliday one of the most lethal weapons in the game. Spirit Lasso is Holliday's ultimate ability, which sees her throw out a lasso, dealing spirit damage, pulling, and applying a stun to any enemy hit once you've lassoed a target. If you use one of your bounce pads, it will extend the duration of Spirit Lasso by a whole second. And with the second upgrade seeing a 0.75 duration increase, this allows Holliday to lock down one of the enemy heroes and literally deliver it to your team. Now that we've talked about Holliday's abilities and their upgrades, let's talk about how to utilize her kit to lasso your enemies into submission. Powder Keg is one of the best poking abilities in the game. Look for openings and use its incredible burst to pressure enemies out of the fight. Also, use its knockup to land easy crack shots. And don't forget you can melee the barrels in the air to get it to instantly explode on the ground. Bounce Pads' landing damage is more than you think, and when paired with items like Cold Front, you can dish out a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Just be careful not to put yourself too far in enemy lines without another one to get out. Spirit Lasso is a great tool you can utilize to trap enemies in the middle of your team for free kills. Don't forget to use Bounce Pad to extend the duration of Lasso and get to the best position to finish what you've caught. Holliday is best when paired with great lane farmers that also have a little bit of lockdown. Thus, allies like Mo and Krill and Seven are able to push lanes and get you to the tower for you to fully utilize your oppressive poking potential, while also being able to provide a little bit of extra lockdown to enemies you catch with Lasso, making these combos deadly throughout the entire match. On the opposite, heroes like Pocket and Lash are easily able to avoid your poke, while also being able to turn any aggressive lassos you land on them to punish you and your team. When itemizing Holliday early, Look to grab items like Extra Charge and Mystic Burst to maximize the amount of poke pressure you can put out. Mid. Shift into items like Enchanter's Emblem and Cold Front to give you decent out-of-combat regen while also giving you the ability to land on enemies with a huge burst and a slow that will allow you to land easy lassos. Late. Look to grab items like Mystic Reverb and Surge of Power, which will enable more damage and extra explosions on your Powder Keg, and give you a good fire rate amp after using them. An example of an endgame build would be something like Spirit Resilience, Tank Buster, Mystic Reverb, Rapid Recharge, Surge of Power, Stamina Mastery, Arctic Blast, Torment Pulse, Transcendent Cooldown, Mercurial Magnum, Mystic Shot, and Boundless Spirit. This build will give you all the items you need to stay mobile, flying through the air, all while dropping huge powder kegs and arresting enemies who have transgressed. Now that you have a great base of strategies and items you can use to make the most out of Holliday, you too can launch your way to victory. Tell me in the comments your favorite Holliday builds, and anything I might have missed. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and make sure you come back for a breakdown on the next hero, Infernus, the Ixian bartender.